Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at from Transformers Studio Series. This is Transformers Devastation Bumblebee. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. Pretty standard fare here. You have more than MCI logo. He converts in 24 steps in the upper left corner. You do see a picture of Bumblebee. You see him packaged in robot mode there, and you do see his cute little cartoon-esque alt mode. From the Transformers Devastation game, Bumblebee. On the side, you get a close-up of Bumblebee's noggin. Transformers Devastation. On the bottom, you have your product info. On the top, much the same. On the side, the picture does wrap around, and it has a very cool sort of cityscape picture there. Autobot logo. Studio Series, he is a deluxe class figure. On the back is where we see our product shots, and also we have a little blurb. Bumblebee is ready to take down the Decepticons. There he is in action. And there he is with some product images. He converts in 24 steps from his robot mode to his alt mode. Let's get this Bumblebee from Transformers Devastation game out of the box and see what he's all about. Okay, here we have Devastation Bumblebee out of the packaging. And before we get into his details, let's take a quick look at the 3 accessories he does come with. 2 of them being the exact same blaster, which is molded in black plastic with a little bit of dark gray paint over the top. But you can see they are pretty much the same. And then on this side, they are hollow because this allows them to be stored in vehicle mode. There's no real place to put them on the robot mode, but obviously he can hold them. You kind of want those hollow parts kind of facing in so you don't really see them that much. But he can hold his weapons like so. And then one more accessory he does come with is more for the vehicle mode, but it is a blaster. Again, done in black plastic with that sort of darker gray paint over the top. And I really like the detail on this guy. He can, obviously hold it as a handheld weapon, but there is storage on the back. It does show on the box art and in the instructions to sort of put it like that. And like I said, it's more for the vehicle mode. But there is weapon storage for that piece there. So anyways, those are the 3 accessories. Let's get a closer look at Devastation Bumblebee. Getting a closer look at Devastation Bumblebee here, let's start at the head. I really like the way this head sculpt came out. It's very cartoonish. You have these sort of light gray for the paint, you get the blue eyes, a classic Bumblebee head there, and it doesn't have any real hollow parts there, so very, very nice. Here you have the big Autobot logo front and center, and the rest of Bumblebee is just very classic Bumblebee. You got the black for the arms, you got the yellow for the forearms, black for the fists, yellow for the waist there, black on the thighs, and then you have these sort of shins here in yellow, and then going down you do see the sort of front of the vehicle mode for his feet. But yeah, very nice. He does have a little bit of a backpack, obviously because of the car mode. Other than that, he's pretty well filled in. This is a little hollow, but that is because of transformation. Here is Devastation Bumblebee compared to the Cybertronian mode Bumblebee. You can tell that the new Bumblebee is just a little bit taller. And here's a comparison between the new Bumblebee and the Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. And last but not least, this is the Netflix Bumblebee. And here's one last comparison with Devastation Wheeljack. Let's get into Bee's articulation here. Let's start at the head. The head can go all the way up because there's a transformation joint right here where this little plate is. So basically his head can go all the way up. He can look all the way up, again, because of transformation, but that is pretty cool that it has that range of motion. It is on the ball joint, so you really do get some nice movement here. Again, up and down all the way, a little bit side to side. His head can turn all the way around, obviously, on that ball joint. The only thing is that sometimes this plate comes up, so you really have to push it down. Some really nice expressiveness on the head, for sure. Very nice. His shoulders are on ball joints, as you can see, so they can go all the way around, and they can go out about that far. He does have an upper bicep swivel. He has about 90 degrees at the elbow, and then he does nothing at the wrist. Because of transformation, the wrists do just tuck into that space there. So that is about it for the arms. He can kick out about that far, so he can do the full splits, which is very nice. And then he can kick back. These are on separate pieces here. So this leg can kick all the way back like that. And then he can kick all the way up like that. His knee can bend 90 degrees. And then also he does have a upper thigh swivel there. And then his toes can go a little bit forward and back like that, again, because of transformation. And then he does have a nice ankle rocker joint. So this guy is actually really well articulated. You can get him in some cool poses, especially that head. I really like the fact that you can just basically take his head and put him up like that. And, it's always nice to have that sort of Superman flying pose like that. That's about it for Devastation Bumblebee's articulation. Let's get this guy transformed into his very cool alt mode. Okay, here we have Devastation Bumblebee transformed into his alt mode, and I really do like the look of this thing. It's very compact, very cartoony, very cute looking. Anyways, let's look at the detail. On the front, you do have some cell shading, very little cell shading, but it is there, done in white with the blue. And then the blue extends all the way to the side and the back as far as the windows go. It does have some nice gray paint for the rims, black tires. It has some gray for the headlights there, and they have some gunmetal gray for the vent or the grille sections on the front. You see the big Autobot logo there. Much the same on the side, and then on the back, you do have some nice red painted for the taillights. And then this thing is just, for me, I can't unsee it. The way that it's transformed, you have his sort of arms hanging out the back. But for me, it looks like the exact shape of the Matrix. I don't know about you, but it looks like a Matrix could just fit right in there. Believe me, I've tried to kind of fit it in there. But yeah, it has this little sort of Matrix shape on the back. And I kind of wish there was some flap or something to sort of hide it. But it's not so bad at all. For the most part, a cute little car mode. And then on the bottom, you don't really see much robot kibble at all. It compresses very nicely, and it's a very tight, put together alt mode. So yeah, very, very cool. I really like it a lot. Just has a really sort of, looks like it just popped out of the game. I do like the cell shading on the windows. And of course, you can arm this guy up. He does have his weapon that comes out of the back here that you can just plug in here on the back, like that. And then there are two little slots on either side that you can plug those guns that we saw in robot mode. And again, that's what those little tabs are for. So you can plug in the gun on either side and have Bumblebee all armed up, ready to fight the Decepticons in the Devastation game. So yeah, there is Devastation Bumblebee all armed up, ready to fight. And this guy does roll very nicely, although he does sort of make some turns and things here and there, but he does roll nonetheless. But anyways, yeah, a very cool little alt mode here. Let's get into some vehicle mode comparisons. Okay, first up is the A6 Studio Series Bumblebee on the left. You have the Devastation Bumblebee on the right. Next up, we have the Netflix Bumblebee done in the Volkswagen alt mode there. And definitely the Devastation Bumblebee towers over this guy. And last but not least, we have the Origins Bumblebee in its Cybertronian mode. And here's a picture of all four of them just to get a sense of scale. That about does it for Devastation Bumblebee's alt mode. I'll get him transformed back into his robot mode and give you my final thoughts. So, is this the best Bumblebee we've gotten so far? I kind of want to say yes. I think the Studio Series figure could have taken a few cues from this mold. The overall design is very dynamic and the articulation is excellent, especially where the head is concerned. The inclusion of dual blasters and an additional cannon-type weapon for the vehicle mode really rounds out this figure. Transformation is a bit fiddly in places, like the back part of the car kept coming off, but overall it's pretty satisfying. Everything tabs into place and feels solid. The car mode is compact and looks like it did in the game. There's some nice attention to detail with the paint apps, including the cel-shaded front window, but I wish that detail extended to the other windows. I've never played the Transformers Devastation game, but if they keep making figures that look this good, I might have to give it a try. This is Matt in Japan, and this has been my look at Studio Series Devastation Bumblebee. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Hit that notification bell for more great reviews. And as always, till all are one.